I've learned you can take about anyone out of New Orleans, but you cannot take the New Orleans out of anybody, even if they move from the Big Easy to the Big Apple. There's a long-held belief in New Orleans that natives of the city rarely ever leave, that it's simply too hard to cut the strings to such a unique hometown.
I think anybody from New Orleans that's born and raised there has such an affinity for it, and it's so in your blood that no place else could ever be like New Orleans.
But even in New York, this sprawling city of 8 million people, I had little trouble finding those just like me who have traded in the Bayou for Broadway.
Have I become a New Yorker? Yeah, I have. But don't tell anybody, because you know I'm from the South, so don't bust me.
The folks we found shared their insight and advice about their Yankee life, and it didn't take long to find some common impressions about living here in New York.
The variety of personalities that you come across. I mean, New York obviously is an international city.
New Orleans has that great sense of where'd you go to high school, who are your people. New York, on the other hand, is a city of people from all over the country. They're literally from all over the world.
And in such a diverse city, what about all that Southern hospitality?
It's a very big adjustment that, people don't exhibit the same level of care for other people here.
New Orleanians talk to strangers. They talk to people they don't know. New York may not quite be that way.
Walking down First Avenue, and I said, good morning, or whatever, and just I got this stare, this stereotypical stare that what's wrong with you?
But maybe that kind of charm is hard to find in a city this big, moving this fast.
I just love the fast pace. There's always something to do in New York City.
And keeping that pace ain't cheap.
It's crazy how much it costs to live here, and when you tell people how much you pay for rent, they look at you like, are you serious?
And naturally, most everyone we spoke with missed all that good Southern food.
Don't order anything called a po' boy in a New York restaurant.
They may say it's Cajun cooking. They may really think that it's the flavor of New Orleans. It's not.
Still, there's always an upside.
The best thing about living in New York, you can eat at any time, anything you want.
Robin Roberts is a native of southern Mississippi, which is a stone's throw from New Orleans. Robin has lived on the East Coast now for 20 years, and she warmly welcomed the new guy.
When it's all said and done, you're going to be an old man one day, and you're going to say, son, I lived in New York City. Yes, I did. I worked and lived in the Big Apple. I did.
And despite all her success in the Big Apple, it's easy to see she's still a Southern girl at heart.
There's just no place like home. I don't care who we are, where we're from, we're always going to. But I tell you what, New York is a nice home away from home.
And I guess that's a common sentiment for all the folks we spoke to. They came here to New York to chase their dreams or to take a good job. Jay Serio fell in love and came here to be with his New Yorker wife.
It's always where the woman wants to move to.
Everyone has a reason for coming here to New York, but home will always be home.
It's a strong connection to the city even after you leave.
Our kids probably speak with a little bit of a New York accent, but make no mistake about it, they are diehard Saints fans, all right? And they love New Orleans.
You never forget your roots, no matter where you live.
My roots will always be New Orleans.
But the trick, as always, is to sometimes just sit back and enjoy a new ride.
Get out and about. Don't stay stuck in one spot. Discover and explore, meet new people.
It's an adventure up here, Rob. It is. It's a beautiful, wonderful adventure, and that's the way you look at it.
Oh, some very cool people in that piece. Especially thank you to Robin Roberts for sitting down and doing that interview with me. But it was good to find some people who knew New Orleans and appreciate what it is, but also appreciate New York as well. Cool.
I think that's my favorite of all the pieces, because I think anyone who comes to New York thinks those things.
Exactly. But it's a good second home, like she said.